alive. I'm not saying your mom is not matters. We discussed this. And we understand, much as you explained where your daughter was concerned, and she would have been in New York for those couple of weeks or something like that. We understand the present situation with your son. And most importantly, we both have had a sense of courtesy in updating ourselves as to the courtesies surrounding your husband. Now, let me say this, because to feel a sense of remorse or guilt taking you to a state of mind where you think you need to apologize, far less apologizing to something or someone who is unrelated to the state of mind or the guilt. To me, it is a state of a kind of something that is retroactive, something that's almost not real. So let me say this, because the truth of the fact of the matter, I knew circumstantially where I was coming, what I was heading into, and all contextually what it involved by my taking the risk that I did and making the arrangement in such a way. Much of it maybe one day you and I will sit and look at it in depth, and you'll probably giggle or laugh a little bit. I don't know. And I took the step or the leap of faith and decided that, okay, I am going to challenge this opportunity. All right. I hate the idea that I addressed it as an opportunity, because personally, within my heart, I never approach something very so personal as an opportunity, because I'm not the opportunist type of person, right? And I was very, very careful in going along and corresponding in a way that today, 3 months after, my friend will not have to have this type of apology. Anyway, when I got there, circumstances allowed it that if I was a different type of person and not on top of the alertness of the plan and what should be right, I would have accepted your invitation to host me at your house, yourself and your family's house. That in itself, Carolina, frankly, would have made a huge of a difference, and we probably would not have been having this conversation now, because what is set in stone is set in stone, and no amount of scarcely unalertness to our own demeanors would eliminate that from what it is, right? And as I said, if I had accepted that invitation, we most definitely would not have been having this conversation now, because inherently I would have stepped ahead of my boundaries, and I would have been also right. Except that in that state of being right, it makes everybody else pretty much a mess, right? I took the approach as you would expect me to take, even not knowing the collaterals along the way. And you didn't insist that I have to stay there or nothing, all right? during that time, if there were circumstances that you are now revisiting and you believed that it may have, or whoever you sit with in council or whatever, and they convince you that you may have done ill or incorrect to yourself and your family, or even to me, by what you're now seeing as some sort of miscommunication, no, I wouldn't agree with that.
No,
right? Because
that will not be right, and that's not
right.
And that is something that you don't have to think that it's true.
Well, Carolina,
it's coming out of meaning. No one has said anything mean. No one
Carolina, it's fine. The point is, it's coming out
why
of
you need lawyers now.
Out of the bird outside the pool, it doesn't matter. The point is that I am just clarifying, because there's some simple little principles here. And these are the principles that I record, and they will be consistent in my life or anyone I associate with, as the Lord give me strength and health and courage to live day by day. And I connect those things. And even if an angel would have dropped from the sky and says to me different about you, I would not believe it, and I would not furnish anything in the form of projecting this is contrary to what I believe in you, Carolina.
Well, that's the mistake I made.
And I know that with no ill intention, you have made any type of miscommunication or the lack thereof. In addition to that,
well, Mike, that's why you have a lawsuit now.
Responsible approach to the trip
Good luck
that
defending
actually
yourself.
cost me, and to know this is nothing to be your concern, right? But I was highly cognizant, right? And believe it or not, this aspect I have thought over myself too. And when I think over things like these, I don't just think it over. I put it down, and I put it down step by step by step, even if it, especially if it seems remotely kind of troubling for me, I would put it down. And believe me, before anyone could bring it back to me, I would bring it back to myself. And I would be I am very tough on myself. I would be my worst critic. And I would look at each instances, circumstantial or however they are, and I would add or plus
Well, you have a case to defend now, so don't forget about plus and the minus and adding the minuses.
And I would have
you have to deal with this criminal matter this woman brings against you in the court.